Let me tell you a story. The year is 2017. The Flames had been swept by the Ducks, we had survived 1 year with Trump in power, and I was in my screenplay class wondering how the hell I was going to pass. I had no clue how to write 90 pages over the Christmas break, let alone making them coherent. One day on a whim, I decided to get my groceries delivered, so I'd have more time to write. When I received the groceries, however, two things caught my eye. First, a bag I ordered was missing. Second, that bag was replaced with someone else's groceries, like a cucumber and some toiletries. I read the name and the address on the delivery bag. Caitlin Costello. She lived about 13 blocks away and I didn't have a car, but no matter. I called her and told her I'd delivered groceries for her. She sounded nice over the phone. For whatever reason, I really looked forward to seeing her. Fast forward 13 blocks and 2 angry dogs, and I'd finally reached her house. Only to be greeted by the delivery guy. He said he had to destroy the groceries and issue her a refund since I had touched them. I was angry. I walked all that way to present my cucumber to Caitlin Costello and never even met her. I had nothing to show for it. Well, not yet anyway. Hi, my name is Sean Reimer, I do not rhyme, and this is the story of The Bagman, my first screenplay. Now, I know what you're thinking. How does a short story like that translate into a screenplay? Well, first, you start by adding stakes, which makes everything seem bigger. I made the protagonist an agoraphobic autistic gamer, and I made Caitlin Costello a CIA agent. Both characters are going through very stressful life and death scenarios. One just happens to be taking down a murderous tyrant, while the other is delivering groceries, and trying not to engage in whatever social situations appear in front of him to deliver those groceries. Plus, it'll make for a cool finale when the worlds collide. I also made the mere 13-block walk into an entire commute across the greater Vancouver area, which is very big. If you want to know more about writing your own screenplay, I would highly recommend the book Save the Cat by Blake Snyder. The essential gist is that you create a logline, which is a basic summary of your story that you can say to someone in an elevator in around 10 seconds, and 15 story beats to go around it. Don't worry, I'll get to those when we go through my story. Now, unfortunately, I have no clue where all my files went when writing this, and it's been 3 years now. My basic logline went something like this. An agoraphobic gamer is paid to deliver groceries to a CIA agent on the run. Short, sweet, and to the point, even if it sounds ridiculous. Did I mention I got 100% in this class? Anyway, from there it was a matter of writing down my 30 or so scenes on cue cards scattered across my basement suite so that I knew what each character wanted. I had to hit 30 cards in order to even hope of reaching 90 pages for the project. The first draft of The Bagman came in at 92 pages, so mission accomplished. Unfortunately, those cards have been destroyed because I really wasn't planning on making this video 3 years ago. Stupid me. Now the hard part. Opening up the computer and writing it. Seriously, that's the hard part. Once you make the effort to start, you're golden. This isn't going to be a scene-for-scene retelling of what happens, but I'll give you the general gist of what happens throughout the story. The movie, and yes, I'm calling it that, opens to a shot of a messy, dark bedroom with food containers and bills scattered about. We see our main character, Herman Eugene Terwilliger, is in a Call of Duty tournament with his online friends. Clutching the match is Herman's Save the Cat beat, an action that makes the audience immediately identify with our main character. While waiting for the next match, we find Herman went to school to become an ordnance specialist for the military, but quit due to the unpredictable nature of the outside world, which is why he plays first-person shooters. One of his friends states the theme of the movie. You say that you've mastered this game. You can make a living off the one outside your door, you know. After this, Herman chokes the next match. Losing the prize money from the tournament, he desperately needed to pay his bills and avoid getting a job that required him going somewhere. Suddenly, his doorbell rings. It's the delivery order for the week. He gets into an argument with the delivery guy about a bag fee that he refuses to pay. After slamming the door, Herman finds the source for the extra bag fee. There's a bag that isn't his. He calls the number like I did, but unlike a calm Caitlin Costello picking up the phone, Herman is greeted to the sound of gunfire over the phone. Eventually, CIA agent Sofia Goryaev asks Herman if he can take care of the misdelivery himself, as she is preoccupied with shooting henchmen. Initially hesitant, Herman reluctantly accepts when Sofia offers to pay for the inconvenience. This is the catalyst, or inciting incident, however you want to call it. The next part of the movie is the debate phase, where the hero has doubts about proceeding on their journey. In Herman's case, he asks his parents, the delivery guy, a cabbie, who sways Herman away by describing the amount of bodily fluids in his cab when Herman asks for a discount, and his Call of Duty friends for a ride, all of whom are unable to provide any. Ultimately, Herman decides to risk traveling across the city himself to deliver these groceries. A parallel to this decision in pop culture is Neo taking the red pill, except going outside for the first time is a bit more relatable nowadays. With the start of Act 2, we begin the fun and games portion of the movie. This is where we put the main character through all kinds of crazy shit in their new reality. Herman attempts to cross the street for the first time with nearly disastrous results. He throws one of Sophia's groceries at a homeless man who tries talking to him, gets into a rap battle, yeah, I wrote that, awkwardly orders McDonald's, which was my favorite scene to write, tries to protect a little girl from being perved on at that McDonald's, only to be mistaken for said perv, and tries to catch a bus. On a related note, one thing I always wondered about the film Forrest Gump is how awkward it would have been to excuse yourself during Forrest's story to catch the bus. So, who does Herman encounter at this bus stop? A method actor auditioning for a Forrest Gump play, who has the entire film memorized. And the nail in the coffin is that Herman has never seen the movie. So when a bus arrives, Herman is too nervous to excuse himself, believing that the actor's story is a real story. After an hour or so of missing buses, the actor breaks character, much to the dismay of Herman, who boards the last bus. After realizing he's out of data on his phone, he calls Sofia for directions via her spy car. In the middle of this exchange, Sofia is ambushed by the bad guy's henchmen on the road, leading to a car chase where Herman's experience as a weapons specialist helps Sofia prevail. The lead henchman manages to survive the battle and retreats back to base. Herman and Sofia learn more about each other, like Herman's agoraphobia and Sofia's job in the CIA. However, a man on the bus with Herman tries to sell sex tips to Herman, which Herman accidentally accepts. When Herman exits the bus, the man chases him into a station demanding payment, but Herman manages to escape as he boards a train. A victory. A false victory. Elsewhere, the lead henchman Gus makes it back to the boss's base. His boss, Jericho, kills a henchman while stressing the importance of the flash drive that Sofia stole. What's on the drive? You'll soon find out. For now, a personal note. You're probably wondering why Caitlin Costello became Sofia Goryaev. Why not just keep the Caitlin Costello name? At the time I wrote this screenplay, I was nursing a broken heart. I dated a girl in the summer, and we split when I moved to Vancouver for film school. She was my first for a lot of things. And in December 2017, I still loved her. When I went home for Christmas, as cliché as it sounds, all I wanted was her back. I won't reveal her real name or any of the details of what Herman and Sofia talk about in the next scene on the train, because, well, the dialogue's pretty real. But I did get her back, at the cost of moving back home after school, which I felt was worth it at the time. Actually, 3 years later, I still say it's worth it. What started out as a screenplay quickly became a love letter. The main objective of Herman's next scene on the phone with Sofia was to create a foil. Herman is afraid to explore the world around him, while Sofia is always on the go and can never settle down in one place. Eventually, Herman finds out he's on the wrong train. He has a panic attack as Sophia changes course to find him. Slowly, Herman regains his composure enough to get off the train and make his way back to Sophia's. Jericho is also on the trail of Herman via a tracking chip in the groceries. If I had to rewrite this, I'd put a tracking chip on Sophia's car instead. This all leads to a standoff with Jericho taking hostage of Herman at Sophia's house when Sophia arrives. Jericho reveals that he's been hijacking a percentage of Activision's microtransactions from Call of Duty on a flash drive, the same flash drive that Sophia stole, and it contains all of the bank information and stocks as evidence. Jericho also reveals that he had poisoned Sophia's groceries in an attempt to assassinate Sophia when she got home. Being exposed to the poison, Herman collapses, giving Sophia the chance to hit Jericho with a smoke bomb and flee with Herman. Jericho and his henchman Gus split up to pursue, with Jericho giving chase in an attack helicopter. I don't like this scene in hindsight, and if I were to change it, I would just have Herman get shot as he tries to escape. I wanted Herman injured to add stakes to the pursuit. Throughout the movie, Herman routinely gave the strangers he met chocolate from the grocery bag, accidentally causing all their deaths. I'd scratch this bit of humor for clarity, as the movie is already pretty busy. Anyway, back to the chase. Sophia and Herman attempt to get back to headquarters to provide Herman an antidote, or to fix his gunshot wound, whatever you prefer. They disable Gus's Jaguar, but they are pursued by Jericho's helicopter. The Tesla she's driving goes into battery-saving mode and limits performance. Not sure if Teslas actually do that because I'm broke. Anyway, the chase spans from Surrey to Stanley Park to downtown, as Jericho blows up multiple shops and SkyTrains. Finally, while on the top of a parking garage, Herman activates the Tesla's performance mode as Sophia drives off a ramp into the helicopter, destroying it. Sophia continues on her way to headquarters, but Herman falls unconscious. Distracted, Sophia doesn't notice Gus coming as she takes off her seatbelt to help Herman. The Tesla crashes headfirst into Gus's Jag, making Sophia fly out the window. Gus walks over to her to finish the kill. But just as all hope is lost, Herman comes to just in time to shoot Gus right in the head. Both Herman and Sophia lose consciousness. Sophia comes to find Herman in her hospital room. He drops off what remains of her groceries and tries to leave, but Sophia stops him, offering him a job with the CIA, which Herman hesitantly accepts. The movie ends with Herman and Sophia coming home together after grocery shopping, snuggling on the couch and playing Call of Duty. The Bagman isn't perfect in the slightest. It's convoluted, cliched, and strange. But, in my experience, life tends to be like that. At least that's how it was with my Sophia. It's been 2 years without her, and I've moved on in some ways, grown in others. There's a piece of me that I'll never get back from her, and there's a piece of her in my head every day. Sometimes I have conversations with her in my head and I can't help but smile. Despite the lies and the hurt she caused towards the end, I know that deep down, at least Herman and Sophia are doing just fine. I'm Sean Reimer. I don't rhyme. Thanks for listening.